Well, in this video, what I want to show you is how I achieve brick tones. What you're looking at now are just a few different ones that I've actually done, from sort of a very light one up to a heavy one. Now these two at the end here, these have only just been cast. These were cast at the end of this video and I'm just doing an intro to it. So these are still very damp, but these will tone down lighter. And also what I said in the video is I would show you how to actually tone these down. Now I'm going to do a little separate video on that which I'll release, so I can show you properly how, if you require to lighten these and not make them so vivid, how you can actually do that. So what you're going to see is how I achieve it. Right, what I'm going to try and demonstrate to you, how to put colours into your mould. The camera just back a little fraction there. Now, to do brickwork, all bricks, they're all different tones, and I sort of devised this way of getting different tones into your brickwork. Now, to kick off with, these are all new colours to me, and this is an experimental one, so I thought I'd video it and just let you see. Now, I've got 5 colours altogether. Yeah, I have dark rust, which is this one at the top. I have black red, which is this one in the palette here. I have light rust, which is the following one down, and we have orange brown, which is this one in the palette. Now, the reason they're in a palette is because that is the order that I'm going to put them into the mould. So I shall start with this one, put that one in first, then this one, then the darker one on top, and finishing with the even darker one to give some dark areas to the brickwork. If you keep it in a palette and you do it like that, they will turn out exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same, but they will stay the same colouring, because you're not mixing colours the opposite way around. Because you should know that if you put an orange with a black, and it will make a different colour. So that's the reason why they're in the palette. Right, I've got the mould and that, so I'm just a little bit disorganised. Now, the paint in the palette, this is all vallejo stuff. Vallejo is the only one that I find will actually mix with the plaster okay. I've used AK, that makes it go thick, no good. I've tried MIG, it don't cure properly, but the vallejo paints, they work 100%, they are beautiful. Now, what I've got in the palette, I will just dilute down by, it's about a 50-50 mix. Yeah, so we'll mix that down to 50-50. I'll just get myself a bit of tissue. Should have got some clean water as well, but there you go. We'll just mix the paints up. Try not to contaminate each of them with the last one. The stronger colours, you don't really need a great deal of it. They're just there to virtually bleed through on the bricks to get them to look like bricks, if you understand what I mean. Well, you'll see when these come out of the mould. Right. Mould has got to go into your release agent. Now, whoops, try and make sure there's no air bubbles left in there, because that will stop the protection, should I say. Now we virtually want this when I've there's my towel. Now you literally just want to just tap it. You want this mould wet inside. If you can see that, I think you can see it is wet inside there. And I'm going to do this left-handed. So we'll start with the first colour, and we'll just dab it around the mould, like so. Just space it out as you feel. Like I say, there's loads and loads of different ways you can use. You know, I'm just showing you the way I use it in the mould to get some tonal variation. That's a big word for me, actually. Tonal variation. If I go quiet, I apologise, because I'm trying to concentrate here. So it's just a scattering and how you feel it should go in. There's no set pattern. It is totally up to you where you put your paint. We go to the following colour, which is a bit richer. So we'll just have hints here and there. And the final colour. Now this is quite a dark one. You can just pick out areas. Right, to me, I'm happy with that. I'll put that to one side. Now, as you notice, I've got no plaster mixed up, because you're in no hurry, because that is wet. So I'm just going to... Now, I'll leave the camera running, because at the end of the day, I'll bore you. Right, we'll mix our plaster now, just to prove that you don't have to rush. And also, I need to explain something else to you as well. Right, I know this mould needs about 25 grams. $24.7, I can live with that. I ain't going to argue over that. And we actually use 12 millilitres of water. Right, mix your plaster as normal. Am I doing this off screen? I'll do it that way so my big hand don't get in the way. As we do, sprinkle it over the top. Let all the plaster absorb some of the water. Find my... What I do is I bring you back. That's it, just a little touch there. Because I was going to do this video tomorrow, but I thought to myself, no, I'll do it now, because I've got everything here. Normal, everything's dissolved up. Take any dry stuff off around the outside. I know you probably already know this, but it just gives me something to talk about as we're going along. Right, that is mixed. Now, I'm going to use, which one was it? Can't remember now. Yeah, I'm going to use the chocolate brown.
I'm going to use that in the plaster. The simple reason is you want a back colour. You can use any colour you want, terracotta, red, whatever colour you want, but you need a back colour. Because the paint is on the mould and the paint will stick to the plaster as it comes in, when you start using these, if you want to do bullet holes or chips or break bricks, if you just leave it in plain white plaster, when you do your bullet holes and that, you've just got white showing through. So then you have to go into the aggravation of painting that particular bit. But if you use a base colour in your plaster, that doesn't happen. Simple. Right, we'll put in 10 to 10 in that. Can we see? It's quite a dark brown, but this actually does dry quite light. All these colours dry really light, even though they're quite vivid now. Right, put that into the water. We'll switch the noisy thing on when it decides to work. And we'll pour away. Right, just leave that to vibrate. I don't know if you can see there, but you can just about see all the air bubbles there. Very bad light here tonight, so, and I'm using my phone camera, so. But we'll give that a few minutes just to get all the air out. Probably boring you. Now, I will explain as this is vibrating. Using paint directly into your mould messes your mould up really badly. Now, it doesn't mess it up straight away, but if you're casting a lot, it ends up absolutely clogging the mould up. Now, I've got a small technique as well of cleaning your mould up, which don't take long, and after I've done a few castings, I will show you how to clean your mould up without scrubbing, without using any harmful things to get rid of the paint, and it brings your mould back up like new. So once I get it really dirty and filthy, I will video that and I'll let you see that. So that's it. I'm going to put you on pause, switch that off. I'm going to put you on pause and I will come back and we'll take these out and have a look. Right, here we go. See if we can get these out of the mould, as I've not really given them enough time. We'll have a go. Right. Can we see that? Now that's not too bad. Go for the second one. Yes, I do like that, and you're going to be saying, no, that looks pretty bright. Yes, you need it pretty bright to actually get the tonal variation back. Well, we'll go into that on a different bit, but no, I'm happy with them. And the last one I broke, I felt it go. I've not really given it enough time. because I haven't given it enough time as well, it's made the mould a little bit dirtier. That is the only thing. I'll move the camera in so you can see. If you don't, you make the cure time a bit longer by using paint straight into the mould, because the paint has got a cure off the same, you know, with the plaster. So I normally leave it, I mean, you can normally do it with straight plaster every sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. I normally leave it an hour, but I didn't leave it an hour this time. Actually, I only left it the 30 minutes because I'm impatient and I can't wait to see what it look like. I'm quite happy with that colouring, and it will lighten up when it dries. And there is a few little bits and pieces. Well, actually, there's a lot you can actually do to bring these colours back, which I will show you. And it's no rocket science, but you can lighten the tones on this, which I can't really show you here, and I need these to dry. I will demonstrate that in a few minutes. Right, as you can see, I've been working this mould pretty hard. It is absolutely filthy. Now, the easiest way to clean it is, first thing to do is not to put it into any rinse agent. It's just literally bang out the excess. Do a straight mix and don't put nothing into it at all. And then just, for some strange reason, why has that gone thick? Let's put a little bit more water with that, because that is a bit on the thick side. Let's look a bit better. Right, I made that one too thick. Then just pour into your mould. And do as you normally do. Just let it vibrate, knock all the air out. Right, I'll come back to that in a minute for you. Right, hopefully I can show you this now. I'm just trying to be, well, I don't know what I'm being careful for, because this, but what you do is you just break this out as you normally do, and hopefully, can you see, it's pulled all the rubbish out of your mould. Yes, it probably needs another go, but you can see how much it's pulled out, and you've not had to scrub it, so that means that you're not damaging your mould. And I always save all these bits because these make good backing up for walls and that. So you get your mould cleaned, and also you get some bits. Now, I know it's not 100%, but that has got 99% of it out. If you actually did that again, that would come up absolutely fantastic. It would come back as new, and the proof's there. Look, all that rubbish has come out of the mould. So that's just a little way of keeping your moulds nice and clean.